Sometimes life is going to pave a bunch of different roads, and y'all don't want to walk down the same one. But the one that we kept walking down is the cool road.
It is.
We live on Cool Road.
Hey, if you want to see us, you come on down to 316 Cool Road.
Come on down.
316 Cool Road.
My address is John's 316 Cool Road, where everything is happening and groovy.
Pee holes are pee holes, so I can't poop here.
Blukon Saka. Hey-oh.
Stonedhenge, baby. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 8 of the Stonedhenge Show. I'm Brandon.
I am Todd.
And sorry for not uploading an episode last week to anyone that listens.
We were actually in the studio down in Wilmington, North Carolina, working on our new EP for our band Powers. And then we both got extremely sick on the last day when we came back. So we've been laid out of commission for a good week or so now.
And what I believe to be a first ever in podcasting, not only are the both of us sick in doing this show, we both got sick at the same time, and we went to the doctor together, and they let us go in the same room. And it was weird as hell.
So yeah, that was pretty crazy going to the doctor together like that. And we're going to talk a little more in depth about that here in just a little bit. But it was a cool experience overall, getting to go down, start putting down some of these songs we had been working on. We really wanted to do a podcast from the studio for you guys. We thought that would be really cool, but it turned out that we just had zero time to make it happen.
Yeah, if we were going to be there and we were going to be paying to record, then we were going to fucking record. We were going to fucking record.
If we were here to record, then we're going to fucking record.
Yeah. Look, if we went down there to record and we get there to record and we're not recording, then what do we go down there to record for?
I pay good money for my babies to come down there and make a hit record. And if they're not down there recording, then why are they not recording?
They're going to record that record.
They said they was going down there to record that record.
Everybody just look at it. It's spelled the same, but you ain't going to record your record. You got to record your record.
You got to record your record.
Look, I'm just going to go down there, record a record.
Hey guys, if you are listening to this episode on nagradio.com right now, please stay tuned after our podcast for our good friend Charles's show, The Other Side of Live. Charles is a motivational speaker, a lot of interesting things that he touches on, and he's a great dude. He is the main person responsible for getting us on nagradio.com.
Yeah, it's awesome, and he's been pretty encouraging about it too. He talked about us right after our last show on his show.
Yeah, because
really
his show comes on live. Ours is pre-recorded, but his is live, so stick around and check that out.
Yeah, it's very interactive too. Get in there in the chat rooms and talk to him. They've got a couple phone lines going there. You can call and talk to him about whatever. Because Charles, let me tell you something. Charles is in charge on the other side of live, motherfuckers.
Listen here, on the other side of live, motherfucker. Ooh. We're
doing ads for him now.
Yeah, such a serious and uplifting or insightful show, and we're sitting there turning it into like a hip hop love line.
Yeah. Hey, turn into the other side of live. Charles is in charge. I heard his dick was as big as Liam Neeson's, and that's no shit.
I did. I heard Charles has a dick that makes Liam Neeson's dick look like the wolf dick in The Gray.
Oh my God, are you serious?
It's that big. And it has that much hair.
Damn, man.
I've got a gigantic hairy wolf dick, and I don't care what your mama thinks about it.
Yeah, it's a giant wolf dick. Yeah, you heard him. It's a giant wolf dick.
Guys, as always, please remember to check us out at facebook.com/Stonedhenge Show, as well as StonedhengeShow.com. If you guys have anything you'd like to hear us talk about on the show, please let us know, and we would be happy to to oblige you.
We would love to hear from you, love to talk to you. Hell, we'd love to see naked pictures of you.
Yeah, if y'all got naked pictures of you, your cousins, your donkeys, bring them to us.
Bring them if it's your cousins and your donkeys in the same photo, particularly. We're interested.
Oh, my God.
We are so into that.
That's what I call a dream team.
Dream team.
Stonedhenge, baby.
We went to an urgent care the other day, and it's an urgent care that's run by my usual regular doctor. So I go there just assuming all will be the same. We get there, and there's nothing but Mexicans in the waiting room.
Right. It's actually, it could have even been a social experiment if we had been prepared for it in any way. You know, I have no idea, but it was literally, the place was crowded, and we were the only white people in there.
Yeah, it was literally...
I don't speak Spanish. Todd knows a little bit.
And I'm not saying Mexicans in the term of, you know, stupid-ass Mexicans. I mean, these were just Mexican people. We were the only two people who spoke English in the entire doctor's office.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of the doctor's staff. It was just a really bizarre experience to go in there. It felt like we were in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it was crazy. For one, I want to give a shout out to Gloria, the receptionist, Gloria.
Gloria, the bilingual sex goddess.
Love you, Gloria. God, girl. God.
Damn, girl. Why you gotta be so fly?
Yeah, so anyway, what time did I pick you up, man?
You came out and picked me up at about 10 a.m.
So I picked Todd up at about 10. I woke up at 8, and around 8:45 I called into work. And you know what? Even when I am sick, I feel bad about calling into work. That's stupid. I feel like, oh my God, they're gonna fucking fire me and they fucking hate me. You know what I mean? I just always feel bad.
I'm the same way, man. I never really have had a tendency of bailing on work or bailing on people in general. I just feel bad. I feel like I'm letting people down by not being there for something they expected me to be at.
So, there's always a lot of like weight that comes with it. Keep in mind, that was Friday. Melissa moved to Asheville today. So she had Friday off. That was it. She worked yesterday, you know? So, all that shit, being sick and like, hey, I've got to hang out with Melissa tonight, dude. She's moving on a Sunday. Yeah, so we're in there. Hey, do you remember the fucking crazy candelabra that they had in the fucking corner of the room there?
Yeah, it had like a black slave woman holding something, didn't it?
Yeah, it was gigantic, dude. It was probably about 10 feet tall.
Yeah, it was a very strange feel to this doctor's office. The doctor's office felt more like an office building that they took out people's desks and made makeshift doctor's rooms out of.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. So we sit there and we're filling out we're filling out all the forms because I don't have a PCP here in Greensboro. A PCP is a mind expanding drug, and you eat it. I think I don't know what they do with PCP.
You eat it and it writes you prescriptions.
Yeah. So PCP is your primary care physician, for those of you that didn't know that.
I've never referred to it as that. That's an enlightening term for me.
Well, you know, both of my parents have worked at hospitals my whole life, so that's fucking hospital lingo there. I know a little bit of it.
Inside family hospital talk.
Look, I know a little hospital lingo. I'll toss around on occasion.
But something that was so crazy about this visit to the doctor is they took me back first, and they were asking me about my symptoms and what brought me in. And I told them, you know, my friend out there and we came back from the beach, And the day that we were leaving, we both woke up and we were just sick as shit. And we got sick at the exact same time. We come back, and the guy ultimately comes back to the room later and he opens the door and Brandon comes walking in. And I felt like I was getting bailed out of jail.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Look who's here, Todd.
For some reason,
You're going home, buddy.
All right, so dude's walking me back and he says, "Did you come here with that other guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And he's like, "So you guys know each other?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's my best friend, man." And he was like, "Well, do you mind if I put you in the same room?" And I'm like, "No, not at all. This will be fucking hilarious."
Well, that sounds grand.
Yeah, this will be really funny. So they open the door and Todd's sitting there in the corner and I'm just like, "Hey, buddy." Hey, buddy.
I guess, and after that, I guess to make a long story short, the doctor came in, kind of gave both of us a look over, wrote us out some prescriptions for some drugs to get better. And then as she's walking back out of the door, she says, "You know what? I'm going to give you guys a steroid injection to help bust this up for you." And neither one of us are too fond of shots or needles.
Yeah,
but
man.
When I feel like shit, I don't care. I'm just like, go ahead, whatever you got to do to make me not feel like this. I don't care.
That's typically how I feel, but this in particular was the first time for me because not only did she say, "I'm going to give you guys shots in the fanny," which means ass.
It's a southern sweet way of saying ass. Fanny.
I haven't had a shot in my fanny, dude, that I can recall since I was a child, like a little child. So I was like, "Wait,
hold up.
Look, yeah, you were there." I was literally like, "Dude,
it's the best place to get a shot, though, man. That's the biggest muscle on the body. Your butt."
I guess so.
It's the biggest muscle on your body, so it's a shot there hurts less than anywhere else you could possibly get one.
Right.
Also, if you get butt tattoos, they probably don't hurt as bad.
That's probably true.
But
so anyway, we're sitting here looking at each other's ass.
So the dude says, "Who wants to go first?" And I'm like, "I'll go first." And Brandon goes, "Yeah, you go first, dude. You go ahead." And I lay down, and dude just like very gently and very directly just slides my pants down to my upper thighs, and with a soft stroke.
Right, and I'm sitting here in the corner, and I'm like, "Man, I kind of want to stroke it a little bit, but is this fucked up?"
He was doing the above the pants rub.
Yeah.
He didn't go down into the love tunnel.
Is this fucked up?
I'm not even here.
No, hey, I want you to know something, Todd. You might be interested in knowing this. So when he pulled down your pants, when he like slid, because we were both in our comfies.
Yeah.
Right? Like we were just in our fucking comfies. He slid them down. I saw it and I fucking looked away, man. I looked to the right. I was like, Todd wouldn't want me staring at his ass. But then I was like, well, I gotta turn back because I've got to see him stick this needle in Todd's ass.
Dude, when he did it to you, I watched the whole fucking thing.
So like, well, that's what I'm saying. I turned away, but then I was like, well, fuck, I can't miss this.
I can't miss this shot.
So, all right, needless to say, this dude, he acts like he's throwing darts, basically. And he fucking tosses this needle right in your fucking butt.
He was like a Venezuelan dart champion.
Yeah, he's great. So he does it and he tosses it right into your butt cheek, man. And for a split second, your butt just goes boom, just jumps up real quick. He injects the shit, pulls it out. You're good to go. So I'm like, all right,
well,
Todd's
mine,
fine.
I didn't even really feel it, to be perfectly honest. It was weird.
It might have just been a muscle spasm.
Yeah, it was weird. I hardly felt a thing. I didn't even know he had done it yet. And then when it was Brandon's turn, he does, same procedure. And when he sticks...
But I've kind of got a poot, and I'm squeezing my cheeks together.
Yeah, Brandon had to fart while he was getting his. But when the doctor stuck him, Brandon's body jumps off of the table. He's laying face first on this table, the same way I was. And his body jumps off the table by an inch or two. And he just lets out, I guess it was the surrounding of who were in the doctor's office with us at the time. But he just goes, yay! and his body bounces up right when he says it. As soon as I see this guy, just goes like throw his Mexi medicine dart into Brandon's ass.
Dude, that Mexi medicine dart fucking hurt my leg for a little while there afterwards.
Yeah, we were walking. We went to get our prescriptions at CVS, and we were walking around like someone just had their way with us.
Yeah,
just walking around holding our ass with an awkward little penguin walk, a little limp.
Oh, so many subtle things I want to just touch upon. Okay, after the nurse practitioner, the lady who had basically came in and diagnosed us and shit, after she had walked out. And right before that other dude came in, we started joking about how we should just be like, yeah, dude, you can use the same needle on us. That's cool. But when he walked in, Todd actually goes, hey, man, you can use the same needle on us if you want. We're friends. And I was just like, oh, my God. That probably freaks him out so
I forgot that I said that to him.
It probably freaked that dude out.
He just looked up. Remember, that guy was really passive. So he looks up and is like, you want me to use the same needle?
We're just like, no, dude, you don't understand. Maybe you do.
When he pulled up the back of Brandon's shirt, he was like, you have tattoos and you were scared of this?
Yeah. I was like, tattoos are different, man. And I was afraid for I guess everybody that listens will find out about me, and you certainly know about me. Weird things that may hurt me, I always tend to dwell on what the worst possible thing could fucking be. And to me, I was like, dude, that needle's so long and there's not enough meat in my fucking butt, dude, and it's gonna like hit a bone. And
it's not enough meat in my butt.
Not enough meat butt.
Dude, I almost pass out every time I get a tattoo. Every single time.
Do you eat before you go in there?
I don't know. I haven't ever paid attention to it, but you should. It's a reaction my body has. They give me a glucose tablet and I just come right back and everything's fine. I can sit there for hours. But the initial part of getting a tattoo, my body responds in a way to where I want to pass out, and it's really strange.
Dude, next tattoo, do me a favor and eat just a little something before you go in and let me know. Because I'll tell you why. The first tattoo I ever got, I got the tattoo on my back, and then I sat down in another chair and got that. What is that ear piercing that I used to have called?
Labrum?
I don't know. The one that goes through like the front and the back of your ear there.
I forgot.
Yeah, me too. But like, I'm sitting there and he pierces it and he goes through the back of my ear, but he doesn't see the dot that he put, like the marker, and my ear's bleeding. So he pulls that needle out to clean my ear, and all I hear, I think my girlfriend at the time was there. My mom was there, and she's like, "It's a lot of blood," and done. I wake up with the fucking piercing. A few seconds later, I'm just like, no, because I hear them being like, he's passing out. I'm like, no, I'm cool. And then it's like over. And they're like, did you eat before you come in here? And I was like, no.
I never actually hit the
digress.
floor. I've come really close and be like, hold up, dude. Hold up. And I feel like such a little bitch.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it because it's not from the pain. Because as soon as I take something, I take that tablet, I'll literally sit there for 3 hours, 4 hours. We'll just have a conversation.
It's from the blood loss, dude.
But my body trips out.
My body fucking trips.
And so it turns out, I guess, final diagnosis is that I had an upper respiratory infection. She said she could barely hear my lungs. And I had bronchitis.
I have an ear infection, which I haven't had since I was a kid, and my ears hurt. And what might be the beginnings of strep throat. She said my throat looked bad. There was like an ulcer on it or some shit. That's gross. That sounds fucking gross.
Ulcers are very common.
Okay.
A lot of people get them. Most people get ulcers on their tongues, where you have that lump that hurts really bad and sore on your tongue out of nowhere. You usually get them from food.
Like I get when I eat like a pound of Sour Patch Kids. I ate one time, dude, and my tongue hurt for days. A pound, man.
A full pound of Sour Patch
A fucking
Kids?
pound. It took me 2 days to eat the whole thing.
Sounds weird, but it might be cool. Check it out.
Do you remember the kid beside us in line at the Rite Aid? Or Walgreens or wherever the fuck we were?
Oh, yeah. The guy who was talking to you about Halloween costumes?
Yeah, okay. This kid, he's the type of person that when they look at you, they don't, and when they speak directly to you, they never look at you. They don't look in your eyes. They look like they're looking through you. It's, you know what I mean? And he starts talking to us. Like I mentioned to Todd, I'm like, hey, look at this gigantic Tim Hardy lighter or whatever that dude's name is. I was like, that's insane. I've never seen Ed Hardy.
Tim Hardy.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Tim
about
Hardy
it.
is Ed Hardy's less successful brother.
The guy that designs giant lighters.
Yeah. It never took off quite like his brother.
But I'll be damned if he didn't impress me with that gigantic lighter with that like tribal tattoo design on it.
Tim, we're keeping tabs on you, son. Keep designing your heart out. We're gonna buy every lighter you put on the market.
Hey, they're $9.99, dude, and they last forever, I'm sure.
Died.
So anyways, we're talking about that, and this kid's like, you've never seen one of those before? And I'm like, no. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it's funny, it's interesting. And he's like, oh yeah. He was like, you know, my friend wants to be the Hamburglar for Halloween. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, his roommate. He said his roommate wants to be the Hamburglar for Halloween. Okay, keep in mind, this kid, did he look like he had a black eye as well to you? Or like, I don't know. He looked like he had just fell down.
Not to be judgmental, but the dude looked like a really, really creepy, socially awkward geek.
Yeah,
he
was actually like a prototypical socially awkward geek.
Yeah,
you would think this guy
like
actually.
He kind of smelled a little funny. Had
his lips looked like they were
peeling off. All the skin was peeling off. You know, the kind of person you just want to go and apply chapstick on.
Yeah, it's just like, here,
look,
dude.
It's this easy. This is all you have to do.
Put a little chap on there, bro, and the seasons won't fuck you up so bad.
But yeah, he was pretty bizarre.
And so he starts talking about the Hamburglar outfit that his roommate is, you know, made for Halloween. And I'm like, he's like, do you know what I want to be? And I was like, you should be Grimace, man, if your buddy's going to be the fucking Hamburglar. It was the like natural thing I could think of next. He was like, that was that guy's name? I'm like, yeah, the fucking purple thing, it's Grimace. And he's like, no, I'm going to be a zombie Osama bin Laden. And I'm like, oh, you're going to be a zombie bin Laden? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to win the costume contest like 2 years in a row. Okay, dude, we don't give a fuck. Like,
he was obviously looking for somebody to talk to, and he connected with your spirit.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Step in here.
Well, because part of me was a little bit afraid of him. Like, if I was to say the wrong thing, maybe he was like an aggressive type, you know, geek, you know? Or maybe he wasn't a geek, man. Maybe he was like off his rocker, you know? Like a homeless, like, you know?
Maybe he was a homeless college student.
I think he was scary a little bit now.
Stonedhenge!
So yeah, this past week we had some cool stuff going on, guys, that we were looking forward to for quite some time, was to start actually tracking some of these ideas that we have for the Powers project that we're working on. So we got to go down to Wilmington, North Carolina, to record with our buddy Brandon Hackler, and he has since gotten a studio manager gig working at North Star Post and Sound.
North Star Post and Sound.
I like it as a Russian army base.
You must report back to North Star.
I like it as a cowboy from like the early cartoon days for some reason. North Star! That's how I hear it.
But we recorded there, and it was pretty rad because it was actually on the movie lot. They do a lot of what's called ADR that we learned while we were down there, but that stands for additional dialogue recording. So they, obviously go in for these TV shows. They're shooting the TV show Revolution right now. And so some days where we were going into the studio for the first half of the day, they would have actors in the studio that we were working in from that show doing voiceover work for any kind of take that they had that had any kind of outside interruption as far as audio was concerned. So that was pretty crazy.
They've also apparently got trap doors with grass and like gravel and things.
And sand,
yeah. So it would sound legitimate when they have to re-record people walking around in said areas. He also mentioned that one of the actors, I don't think I should say. I'm going to give it away. One of the actors who we're not going to say because I don't remember which actor it was any fucking way, was in there acting out a fight scene. And he was talking about how interesting that was because the guy would like actually get into it. And I think that's badass.
Yeah. He showed me a video of it. Now, if any of you guys out there who listen to the show are as into the show Breaking Bad as I am, I had a bit of a fanboy experience and knowing that Giancarlo Esposito, who was Gus Fring on Breaking Bad, is in the show Revolution. So he was actually recording in the same studio that we were, which tripped me out to think that Gus Fring was walking around in there. One of the most badass TV characters ever.
I wish I knew what you were talking about.
You need to watch that show. I've been telling you for a long time.
I will, man.
And I will not lead you astray with that recommendation. I promise you will love it.
I will, but you didn't love Battlestar Galactica, dude. And that trips me out. Now I'm afraid. I'm afraid, Todd.
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid. You didn't like Battlestar. I loved it.
I couldn't get into Battlestar. I thought it was cool. It was just a little too cheesy for me. I thought I liked the story. Some of it was too like the frack and some of that stuff was just too much for me. I couldn't get into it.
You couldn't handle the frack, man.
I needed it to be a little more intense.
That's what they say in the future, Todd.
I believe it. I mean, I could see from that show. I totally get why so many people would like it. It's very
say frack in the future, dude.
It's very much more a show suited towards someone like you rather than someone like me. Even though we're very similar,
that's why I'm afraid of Breaking Bad.
You have more appreciation for sci-fi. Well, see, Breaking Bad is not a mobster movie or anything like that. It's just a really, really interesting character development story about a guy who just gets in way over his head.
You know that I'll watch it. I will, I promise.
It's really, really good.
I promise I will. He's looking at me
honestly,
right now.
Honestly, that's one of those shows.
Yes, you will,
I've never met anybody that started watching Breaking Bad and said, well, I tried to get into it, but I just couldn't. It's literally generically one of those shows that everyone's like, that show is fucking badass.
I'll watch it.
I promise.
I'm not afraid of it. I just wanted to talk to you about Battlestar.
I promise.
I just wanted to talk about Battlestar Galactica. But
Giancarlo Esposito, who we were talking about, is the actor who was actually acting out his fight scenes and flailing his arms around and everything while he's doing his voiceover work. Tell them what movie had their production office set up directly next door to the door of the studio.
Well, I believe it was called Caged Heat.
Caged Heat. That was actually the name that was on the door, but it was a cover-up name for the actual movie that had the production offices there. That was Iron Man 3.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we didn't see anything beyond the door.
Yeah, we didn't get to see anything really cool, except we did, get to be really close to it. They also had a production office for another movie that was going on while we were down there. That was right up the hallway for a movie coming out called We Are the Millers, which has Jason Sudeikis and Jennifer Aniston in it, correct?
Yeah, and we walked by it 1,000 times. We walked by it several times, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was like some kid's show. But then we walked by it, and I'd got my mind right before I walked by it, and I noticed a little pot leaf over the eye, and We're the Millers, or Meet the Millers. What is it?
We Are the Millers.
We're the Millers. We Are the Millers. Yeah, and I was like, whoa, they're making a weed movie here, dude.
Yeah, and so it turns out that entire movie's about weed. So Brandon immediately becomes super duper interested.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta watch this shit
He's
when
like,
it comes out.
I can't wait until this movie comes out.
I don't even care who's in it.
Do you watch the TV show Weeds?
No, I watched like half the first season, but I couldn't get into it.
I watched the first 2 seasons, which I thought were pretty interesting, and then I lost interest. It started getting a little too crazy.
But that chick was hot.
Yeah.
Well, while I'm googling this, you were talking about weeds.
Oh yeah, but I think that show just got a little too out of control. I mean, for someone to only be selling weed, it got way too far out of control.
So like this, it just unraveled way too fucking much.
Yeah, the stories started going down to Mexico, and she was fucking the president of Mexico or head congressman of Mexico or something like that.
I mean, somebody may have done that, but nobody.
It got way out of control.
Really?
I had to stop watching it. Amber loves it though. My girlfriend loves that show.
I know a lot of people that love weeds. I know a lot of people that love Breaking Bad too. Back on that, I'm absolutely going to watch it.
And I can see why people like a lot of shows. If any of you guys know anything about me, I'm extremely picky when it comes to TV shows.
Laugh tracks. Don't ask him about a fucking show with laugh tracks. He's not gonna like it. He's just not gonna like it. He's not gonna like it. He's gonna be like, yeah, I watched it. I laughed for a minute, and then when I noticed that a bunch of fake fucking people were laughing, then I don't
understand it. And I'm not. I swear,
his pet peeves are really funny to me.
I am not an elitist. I don't think that a show like that sucks. The show could be really good, but I just can't enjoy it because once I notice that there's a laugh track in it, I can't fucking stop listening for the laugh track.
Mary Louise Parker?
Mary Louise Parker.
Right on.
Mary Louise Parker.
Took me forever because I've got a cheap ass smartphone, but it happened. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Todd can't deal with the fucking laugh tracks, which I understand. But there are a couple shows I just let it pass. I have to. But now that I've me and Todd spend so much time together, I notice it. Like now I have to, instead of like just naturally ignoring it like I did, now I have to force myself to ignore it, and I notice how goddamn loud it is.
Yeah,
it's really loud.
Well, it distracts me from getting sucked into the story.
They mix it really loud. Hey, if anybody in TV's out there, I know you're being told to mix that shit loud because it's probably sending subliminal messages somehow. I'm sure there's words hidden in there or whatever. But turn it the fuck down, man.
Well, see,
please, they're good. They're great shows that you're ruining, and probably for more people than Todd. There's probably a whole.
What's so funny that you say that you think there may be subliminal messages in there? Part of the reason that I hate it so much is I take it as an attack for me being a zombie of sorts, watching TV where they're constantly reminding me, this is the funny part. You should be laughing now.
You have to laugh.
You need to laugh here, sir. Sir.
I'll be honest.
Laugh.
The one show that I will always ignore it in is Scooby-Doo. There's no logical fucking reason for Scooby-Doo to have laugh tracks.
That's a cartoon. I can roll with that.
Yeah, but there's no reason for it to have laugh tracks.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cartoon, man. It's a fucking cartoon. But that's awesome. There are probably totally subliminal messages in that shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The other show that I've been watching a shitload of lately that I really, really like is The Walking Dead.
Dude,
I'm just now going through season 2.
Dude, Dabs. We just watched episode 1 and 2 last night.
Of season 2? I've watched the first 4 now. But it's awesome.
Oh, God, it's awesome, dude. And I kind of hate Carl. Can I say that?
I do too.
I think Carl is gonna be the impetus for a lot of shit that shouldn't happen.
I think Carl and his wife.
I hate his wife. I hate her.
And they both overact so much.
Oh God!
When you watch their characters on screen, it's just everything they say is just so dramatic.
Well, see, I'm just not interested in what Carl's character brings to the mix. But I hate his wife as a character, and I hate her as an actress too.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
She's got those fucking huge eyes, bug eyes, when she's like tripping and shit. You know? I hate that. And also, her character drives me fucking insane.
Yeah, she's
insane.
She's very slappable.
Yeah, dude.
You're slappable, bitch.
I'm just like, Okay, so spoilers, guys. If you haven't started watching the show, then fucking don't listen. Plus, I read a lot of this beforehand years ago. But she fucks the main character's homeboy when he's in a coma and shit, or they think he's dead. Zombie apocalypse happens. Blah blah blah. They're out in the woods. She's fucking her husband's homeboy because they think he's dead. They've been surviving together and shit. You know, you get turned on killing zombies or whatever. I'm sure. He gets a little hated.
Yeah.
But, so then, you know, then the dad shows back up. Sheriff, whatever. And, what are you gonna do, you know? Plus, on top of that, she's just a bitch. She's a punk-ass bitch, dude. She is, man. And ladies, I'm not trying to be rude to y'all, but this character is, like, such a bitch, you know? I would call her a bitch. I'd have to. I would get so mad at her, I would call her a bitch.
Stonedhenge, baby.
I just want to say, we'll be back to our goofy selves next week, I'm sure. But we're sick.
We're sick and we had a lot of shit go on that we want to tell you about.
Yeah, it's obvious.
So we're not 100% in the goofball zone right now, but there was a lot that needed to be recounted, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, and so let's talk about staying at your parents' house.
Yeah. So my family actually moved down to Wilmington, the city where we were recording, and they moved down there about 5 years ago or so, and we went to stay with them one night, but by the time we had gotten out of the studio, it was late. My parents were already in bed, and we ended up going up into my sister's room to hang out with her for a little bit because she was still awake. And so, you know, naturally, I go through some of the photo albums and some of the things that I hadn't seen in so long. And I'm pointing out all these funny old pictures, you know, oh, look at this shit, look at that. You know, Brandon and I just cutting up, raiding the kitchen pantry, eating some Twizzlers and pretzels. And I noticed that my little sister, Tabitha, has one of the 50 Shades of Grey books out that she's reading. She was like, I have to read before I go to bed. Like, okay. And then I see, I said something like, you're reading that bullshit? Why? I was like, why don't you just read porn? And she said,
that was funny.
She was like,
it's really weird.
It's not porn. It's not porn.
But it is totally fucking porn. And we told her, we were like, look, jig's up. I was like, I work at a fucking bookstore. It's porno. I've picked it up. I've looked at it.
Yeah. And so she goes, do you want me to read you some of it? And we're like, yeah.
Also, it's really poorly written porn.
Yeah.
Like, that book is fucking poorly written. All those books are.
It caught fire, man. It's just a pop culture trend.
Horny. We caught horny people. It caught fire because it makes you horny.
Yeah,
it's a horny book.
There's a bunch of married women in their midlife crisis that want to have that passionate first time sex.
And they want to have crazy, kinky encounters.
I want you to go lay on the bed, pull off your britches. I'm gonna put my dick all deep in your hole.
Dude.
God.
I'm gonna lay you against the bed, and I'm going to unzip our butts from each other. So Tabitha starts reading the book. We have her read it out loud to us. It says we're laying. All right, I'm gonna try to lay out the room for you. I just want you to visualize this because it's kind of funny in and of itself. Like, in the middle of the room, towards the back, is her bed. But Todd and I are on separate futons on the right and left side of the room.
It's one of those long, huge, narrow bonus room type places. It's not really supposed to be a bedroom, I guess.
Yeah, it would be like a lounge area maybe even in the house.
Or a secondary living room or den type thing.
So it's a huge ass room. And we're all laying there and it's like dark. Well, not totally dark, obviously. She's got to have some light to fucking read.
We're all laying there and it's pitch black and she's reading. Which
creeps me out because it means she has cat eyes. No, Todd's sister has cat eyes, guys. I didn't want to say it. But I mean, hell, she knows it. We all know it. She sees in the dark. Anyway, so Tabitha starts reading us the book, Todd, and do you remember the direct quote that we started riffing on for like 20 minutes afterwards?
It was, yes, I moaned. as he started to gyrate his hips upon mine.
Yeah, and that's all we could fucking take of that book, by the way.
We started cracking up, and then, of course, we started to come up with several different scenarios, but they all started with, yes, I moaned.
Yeah, and this is a trick that we actually, this is a game, rather, that we actually encourage all of you guys to play together. So let's do it for a second here. Yes, I moaned as I untangled our butts from each other.
Yes, I moaned as he started to take my toenail clippings and shove them in his pee hole.
Oh, God. God. Yes, I moaned as I unbuttoned his butt.
Yes, I moaned as I started to take his clippings from his pubic hair and form them into a little mountain for my He-Man characters. Someone's getting pruned in every one of mine. They're getting shaped up, either getting their toenails clipped or getting their pubes cut off.
All mine are about butts. There's like weird things that don't happen to butts.
Do some more.
Yes, I moaned as he put sticky googly eyes on his dick and then opened the pee hole like it was talking to me.
Yes, I moaned as he put toaster strudel icing across my eyebrows and then peed in my ear.
I've got a pruning one for you. You ready? Yes, I moaned as I awoke and felt that I had a gorilla mask on my face. Gorilla mask, by the way. Right? That's when you like nut on somebody's face and then throw your shaved pubes on top of it.
That's the Abe Lincoln.
The Abe Lincoln. I thought it was the gorilla mask.
It could be the gorilla mask. It could have two names. I've always known it as the Abe Lincoln.
Ooh, I like the Abe Lincoln.
Because it gives him a little beard.
Makes him look honest. You know somebody with pubic hair on their face is an honest man. Or woman.
Yes, I moaned as he cut off my toes with a kitchen butter knife.
Oh, God. Yes, I moaned as he pulled his pug out of my ass.
Yes, I moaned as he shat on the pizza.
Yes, I moaned as he Cleveland steamered me and I crab walked to the bathroom. Crabbed walked. As it grabbed walked.
Yes, I moaned as he came in my son's Happy Meal. Just picture some dude nutting in some little kid's Happy Meal box.
That's fucked up.
Go on and eat your supper. You scared of it? Now it's got a little cum on it.
The best part is he's doing that and she's just like, yes. Yes.
The mom's in the background. Yes.
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 Also, I really want to say, Todd, I think our EP is going to be great. I'm really going to love it. I think other people are going to like it, but if you don't, fuck yeah. I think it's going to be great. I really do. I'm going to like it a lot. I'm going to listen to it. It's going to be one of those things I listen to.
Well, I'm really excited about it as well. And I know you and I discussed this while we were down there, but I think the biggest thing that is so fulfilling to me about this particular project is the fact that we are finally, without the attachment of any kind of, or the association with any kind of label or any kind of expectations, we're literally putting this together, tapping into all of our influences in one project kind of thing, to have that hip-hop undertone with the beats being so digestible and easy to follow a groove on because of how obvious our influence was with 90s era hip-hop, coming up through that era.
Yeah.
And the Portishead trip-hop scene and Radiohead and Nine Inch Nails. Like, so many of these bands that really made electronic music more of an art form rather than just a form of dance music.
Yeah, and it's not... I don't think it's going to be something that
or
you...
Depeche Mode.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily something that you would expect from us given our past, but maybe it is if you understand our influences a little bit better. But I mean, it's funny how it's been written though. I've never written anything like this before, where it's here are some beats, let's fuck with them. You know what I mean? It's never really been like that. It's always been like, let's get in a fucking room together and fucking play for hours and hours and hours. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely a different approach. See, what I think though, I think it obviously sounds different from anything we've done before. But when I listen to it, it still feels like us.
Yeah. Totally.
It has a different undertone to it, and there's a lot of electric influence on there, and a lot of electrical a lot of MIDI work and things that are played through synthesizers and such that obviously we're not all playing live. But the overall feel of the song still has that Brandon Welch haunting feel. And anyone out there other than Brandon, because he can't look at himself like this, but any of you guys have listened to any of the Far Less music, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Haunting.
He'll haunt you.
You know, I always said, man, when I die, I will haunt the fuck out of you. Well, I haven't always said it, but I said it to a couple people.
It's like I've always said, I never said it.
It's like I always said to like a couple people, I will haunt the fuck out of you if I die.
We wanted to continue talking about the studio experience, and something that is really interesting, in my opinion, about that studio was the fact that there were several celebrities that had performed in that studio, either doing voiceover work or actually recording albums.
Yeah.
And this list of celebrities includes James Earl Jones,
Darth Vader,
Randy Travis, Darth Vader, Randy Travis, Andre 3000, because they recorded the Idlewild soundtrack there and recorded Idlewild the movie in Wilmington, which I did not know until we were there. The voices for the Muppets, all the main characters.
That is crazy as hell.
Yeah. For one of the movies they had, I think it was the outer space one.
Muppets in Space.
Yeah, it was Muppets in Space, and so Kermit the Frog's voice actor recorded in there.
Man, that's really cool.
Miss Piggy.
I don't know how I didn't know that. I saw the pictures in the office.
Yeah, so they all recorded in there. So I mean, it was one of those rooms more so than I guess any other studio we had gone to before that actually had previously had performances held in it by people who are genuine national or international celebrities, which is pretty crazy to know that we were performing on the same spot that they did some of that stuff.
Yeah, that is crazy as hell. Another thing, one thing I want to point out, because there were portraits, like 8x10s, 8x10 glossies, like framed of the celebrities that were in there. The one of Randy Travis, which I did post on my Twitter, @SaintDopium, he's like standing wearing all black in front of just like this flaming background. He looks so fucking mad. You know, he's like fuming, and it's like, dude, you're Randy Travis, man. Like,
it was the most demonic looking Randy Travis picture I've ever seen, for sure.
It was awesome.
Yeah. It was just the whole background was nothing but fire.
Just flames, dude. And he's just standing there in black, just like,
you know who he looked like, dude? He looked like the painting of Vigo.
He did kind of remind me
Ghostbusters 2.
How is the baby?
Vigo.
The baby. That's the one line that I will never forget. And how's the baby?
Dude, Robert Downey Jr. was doing voiceover work about a week before we went in, and I know we discussed this, except one thing we want you guys to remember from now until the end of your time. Whenever you get to see Iron Man 3, you will now think of Powers and our EP.
You'll absolutely think of our EP, which we have come up with thousands of names for already.
Yeah, we came up with a ton of them down there. I'll only remember the one that we decided to keep.
Yeah, can we drop that one?
Yeah, we can go ahead and say it. We thought of it.
Now the story for it is interesting. Are we gonna digress for a minute here? So this came about when we were at Skylar Kroom's house.
And Skylar is the vocalist for He Is Legend.
we're at his house. We're laying on some love sacks, actually.
Yeah, 2 giant love sacks.
Jared Drawn was there.
Jared is the vocalist for Classic Case, or was the vocalist for Classic Case, Telescreen, and Blank Face, a pretty iconic punk band in the late 90s, early 2000s in this area.
So we're there, and we're chommy tonging it, right?
Chommy tong, man.
And Jared goes, dude, did you know that God backwards is dog? And we're laughing. We're just like, hey, no, Jared.
We ended up coming up with I guess based off of that moment, we are tentatively, I guess right now, putting the title of our EP as God Backwards, Dog Forward.
That's what we're going to call the EP. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's pretty awesome because we can tell people it means nothing,
Yeah.
Or we could, if we get a lame interview question from anybody, we can just say, it's kind of like we were thinking, and like what is God
and what is dog?
And what is dog? And how do they interact when they cross paths?
I believe that man is dog. And since God is made from man, right? Then like God and dog are man and dogs. And they're like dog men.
It's kind of like the hieroglyphics that you see on the Egyptian temples.
They're dog men.
The dogs were gods. And the god could be a dog and men.
They're like God dog men.
They're like God dog men.
God dog men.
That's something a redneck football coach would say.
God dogman Todd. I told you.
God dogman.
Coach, did you just say God dogman?
God dogman.
Okay, so that's awesome. But the studio, it was like this beautiful wood paneling everywhere. Every fucking nook and cranny of the place was padded. Every fucking bit of it was padded. From heel to fucking toe or whatever that goes. How does it go?
It was like being in a giant tampon box.
Oh, it was great.
Pads everywhere.
Soft
pads.
The fucking control room was badass as fucking hell. Enormous console and a big screen TV in there hooked up to satellite or cable, right? It was pretty fucking badass.
Yeah. They had like a 60-something inch flat screen TV and a couch that you could sit in in the control room and watch whatever if it wasn't your time to record. So in a previous band, that would have been my dream spot. But when it's a 2-man project, just kind of both of us are involved at all times.
Yeah, I mean, that's just beside the wall full of fucking gear. Just rack mount gear out the fucking ass.
Yeah, three columns of it filled with just super expensive preamps and EQs and patch bays and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It was insane.
So we get in there and we set up the drums. Brandon puts like what 11, maybe like 13 mics on Todd's drum kit, and we start fucking tracking drums, man. And Todd came up with a lot of, I mean, he's not going to say this, so I'm going to say it for him. Todd actually came up with a lot of really awesome drum parts. I mean, I'm very stoked about them, considering like a lot of them came from the studio. You know what I mean? We got in there, he started listening to the songs that we'd started working on. You were just listening to the stems of some of the music, right? Basically.
Yeah.
And just playing along with it, fucking freestyling it till he came up with the shit that was the bomb. And then he dropped
I got that bomb ass shit.
And then he dropped the bomb on him.
Dude, you're too sweet saying up.
I loved it, dude, and being able to hear it in being able to hear it as it's happening with those headphones on, man. Or just with those monitors that are in that room.
Yeah.
I mean, it got me excited for the rest of the fucking recording process. The drums got me really excited. That kick drum. It was the kick drum got me really, really excited. Your beats and the sound of that fucking kick drum, dude. I don't know what it is.
No, it's been cool seeing these songs take shape. I mean, we have to go back down again probably a couple times to finish everything off, but it's really cool to start actually stacking up these layers and transforming them from a demo to an actual tangible product that we can, have to give to you guys to check out.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, man. How long has it been since we fucking put out a record? Last record I actually got released was the last record that we were on together.
You guys did an EP after I was in the band. I guess that was the most recent recording experience.
But we didn't release it. It just kind of
That's right.
ended up on the internet, the demos and shit. We never really recorded it.
Well, I guess this is actually the perfect tie-in. Next week, we're going to interview several of the guys who were in Far Less when we recorded A Toast to Bad Taste, which was considered our, I guess, most accomplished recording. I don't know how you would say it. It was the one that we became
Todd
identified
just says that because he was on it.
Well, we became identified by it because the songwriting was better than ever before. And it was just something that just came with the territory.
No, we're all really proud of that record. I think, all jokes aside, of course we're proud of everything that we've done, but that record in particular was a really big one for me, and it was bigger for Todd. Wasn't it your first time being in a studio like that, fucking far away from home, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess the only other studios I had worked in were all for demo purposes, and we'd go to Texas and do some down there in Fort Worth. But other than that, that was the first. We're gonna pay for you to live here, and you're gonna go in the studio, and da 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 da,
and da 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 da. But for me, I had a lot invested in it this go round because it was different when we recorded Everyone Is Out to Get Us. I'd actually just moved 5 hours away from the band, which was really dumb. That's shit happens, whatever. But with this, I actually wrote a couple songs, sat down with an acoustic guitar and put some songs together and was like, hey dudes, maybe we can use a song. It was fucking awesome. I'd never played guitar in a fucking band other than my rap metal band in high school. And then I just taught the guitar players these awesome drop D new metal riffs I'd written. They played them.
Yeah, but I guess next week for the podcast, we're going to interview the guys that were on that album, because next week, right around the 23rd, actually marks the 5-year anniversary of the release of Toast. So we thought it'd be kind of a cool thing for those who were fans of ours and enjoyed the show, and those of you who maybe have never fucking heard of our band and enjoy the podcast, and we can give you an insightful kind of reenactment of a lot of the crazy shit that went into making that record, and maybe that'll make it a more special listen for you guys who haven't heard it.
Yeah, and maybe it'll make you pop a boner or two.
Maybe you could finger your girlfriend.
Yeah, while you're listening to the podcast.
Maybe you could finger your mom.
Maybe you could finger me.
Maybe you could finger all three
of me.
Maybe you could toe my dog.
Toe. You just gonna put your toe in a dog's, you gonna do that.
I like to take my big toe and plug a dog's ass.
Oh, God.
Stonedhenge, baby.
So thank you guys for checking us out on the 8th episode of the Stonedhenge Show. We would like to send additional thank yous over the events that have taken place over the past week here. Send an additional thank you out to North Star Post and Sound for allowing us to come and start recording our record there. We also want to say a big thank you to Brandon Hackler for the time that he's been putting in up there and helping us out.
Yeah, thank you for squeezing us in, man.
Yeah, much appreciated as always. We want to say thank you to Dogs That Love Dildos.
Oh, love them. Love them.
We also want to say thank you to Earthworms.
I want to say thank you to Skulls.
The movie?
No, skulls with like tribal designs all over them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I want to say thank you to Imitation Meat.
I do want to say thank you to Phantoms, the movie with Ben Affleck, Rose McGowan.
Yeah, but be sure to check us out next week, guys. We are, like I said, we are going to have a special episode where we're going to have some of the guys on from the band from Far Less, and we are going to discuss the multiple stories and fun tales from the creation of that record, A Toast to Bad Taste. So that should be a pretty cool commemorative 5-year anniversary episode for that a lot of you guys will find interesting, I think.
The next episode will be A Toast to Far Less.
A Toast to Far Less.
And that show will be a lot of fun because you'll get to learn a little bit more about me and Todd, and you definitely about our experience with our brothers, in music at that time, all the members of that band. And we had a fucking blast raising hell out in California. We're doing that.
Yeah, because most all the shit that happened in that band is very, very much responsible for the relationship we have today.
Definitely.
It's what united us and bonded us, I guess, back in the day. So
you hear Gwen snoring in the background?
Yeah, she's passed out.
Yeah, Gwen's in here.
If Gwen's asleep, that means it's time to go. We got to go, guys.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
like I said,
guys.
be sure to check us out. Facebook.com/Stonedhenge Show. StonehengeShow.com is the actual website. Not much on there, except it does give you a direct link to our feed so you can subscribe and whatnot.
Listen to us on iTunes. Check us out on iTunes. Download some fucking apps for your phones and listen to our podcast.
Yeah, that's totally the best way to do it, man. There's numerous apps on the Android marketplace, and believe me, I know I sell phones for a living.
This man does. He knows.
You can get the iTunes application going on your iPhone and just simply go to the search box and type in Stonedhenge Show. It'll pop up. You click subscribe, and then every time we put out a new episode, all you have to do is plug in your headphones and you're good to go.
Be the first to listen to our newest episodes every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. on nagradio.com. And definitely stick around to listen at 9 p.m. for The Other Side of Live. It's an awesome show as well.
Yeah, Charles is a good dude, man. You guys, thanks as always for checking us out.
Yeah, actually, we're going to go cover up and watch some movies and stuff and drink some chicken noodle soup.
We're just going to crack a bottle of red, get out the chicken noodle soup, and let shit take us wherever it may.
Hey, we going to let it fly. Let shit fly.
Let it fly, bitch. Stonedhenge, baby.